The one whom is on is going to absorb little to nothing. So even in the reality of binary coding, it's basically an energy of a plus and minus. So when you put out a charge, the negative charge will be attracted to the positive charge. That the one whom practices being off, the difficulty of practicing being off actually lends the state of absorbing that which is on. Without learning to be off, there's no absorption, because when you're on you reflect and deflect that which is on. So that becomes immense in our tafakkur and contemplation, that we're going to email the shaykh and we're going to show our state of being on. That, oh, I found some issues with what you teach. There's no relationship there. You're showing yourself as something on, where even you think you know something, you don't know anything. And admit that to yourself, empty yourself, take a path in which to be nothing. As soon as you put yourself as on, there is no relationship. And Allah gave the daleel with two huge personalities. One, Sayyidina Musa Kalimullah, from the 6 great Prophets of Allah who speaks to Allah and sitting with his people giving wisdoms and knowledges. And he told his people were astonished, well, you know everything. Is there anyone who knows anything more than you? And he said, no, I don't think so. So the immensity of that knowledge, and Allah was not pleased with that answer, that no, above every knower there's a knower. I'm going to send you to one who knows more and knows a different knowledge. And sent to Sayyidina Khidr and the adab is set in Surat Al-Kahf. That's why the tariqahs use it as the daleel from Allah on the mannerisms. So Surah 18 equals manners of tariqah, in which Sayyidina Khidr warned Sayyidina Musa that we're about to meet and I don't think it's going to work. You're not going to have patience and you're not going to understand the knowledges that I'm going to show you. And from the lack of patience, this won't work and this relationship won't work. Don't ask until I speak of something. Means teaching for us, the reminder is that you have to enter into a binary state. Even you know everything that you possibly think you could know, you train yourself to be off. And then as a result of the immensity and the station of humility to be off, you're able to absorb more. So even no matter what Allah bestows upon these servants who've been trained in this reality, they're in a continuous state of off in the presence of whom Allah directed them to direct themselves. Because they have a binary state in which they go off and they're on in the presence of that ruhaniyat and the presence of whom their hearts are connected with. They're in a continuous presence to be off, to absorb and to absorb the reflection coming. As a result, in their state they go out to their students and begin to teach, and the reflection and the true absorption of that energy can only manifest in the student when they truly understood to be off. Otherwise they want to meet the shaykh but they want to come and talk, and they may actually come distances to meet with the shaykh, and they spend so much time talking because they have so much of their own and they absorb nothing from that association. Or they try to email, there's no difference. That I know this and what you're doing, I find something wrong with this or whatever their opinions are, there's no relationship going to be established. Because this is not an imam from the masjid, they have their role to play. This is the role of guidance and the realities of guidance. If in your ultimate humility you were able to train oneself to be off and they absorb, if they found in their absorption that they found a benefit within it, they stayed. Because they understood that when I'm off, the amount that's flowing to me I'm able to absorb. If in their state of humility of being off they found that what's being reflected to them is of no benefit, then with humility they dissipated and left. Nobody heard or saw them come to go. See, the difference in the character is different because they're in a state of nothing. In a state of nothing they come as nothing, if it was a benefit they remain as nothing because they're continuously absorbing. So the moon follows the sun, doesn't question the sun, what you doing? What's this? The moon took its path and that's why you see the moon so beaten. Moon has been tested, moon has been tried. The moon, it takes and absorbs its difficulties, its imtihan, everything that Allah has given to it, and this state of humility in which to remain off, which is not an easy state. Some people think, oh well that's so easy, it's harder to have to give an opinion about everything. No, it's actually much more difficult. The opinion, a 2-year-old can do that. We said before, a 2-year-old can walk into a room and find where the crack is and tell everyone there's a crack in the wall. The rijal who's been trained by Allah can look into everything and find something beautiful in everything. That's what distinguishes them as the men of God, that they can find the flower in the midst of, in the middle of rubbish. So it's not the ability to point problems, and that's why many times problems are surrounding shaykhs, to see how clever people think they are to point out the wrong, when instead they should hide the wrong and point out the positive. One who focuses on the wrong, it's a state of arrogance and the one inside of them. It's not a state of humility. Nahi wal munkar is for oneself, not for others. That to find and see something wrong and talk about it. No, tariqah comes, that's actually first for yourself. That did you find all the wrong within yourself? Did you find all the sins within yourself? Did you find all the reasons Allah would be angered with you, would be punishing you? You resolved and cleansed them, then go out now and talk to humanity, which that doesn't happen because that's only for the messengers of Allah. Everyone else, they should be spreading rahmah and love and kindness, and they should be working upon themselves. So binary state is not something easy. The binary state and the